Good morning, magandang umaga po. Have you been curious, I'm sure you have, about how much it costs to live in the Philippines, specifically in Manila? Well, we went on a 35-day trip to the Philippines, and I made it a point to record all our expenses so I could share them with you. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So, hang loose, stay with me. When we went to Manila, I made it a point to record all the expenses we have so I can share them with you. I hear a lot of rumors there that for $500, $1,000 you can live like a king or whatnot. Well, this thing is relative. First, it depends on where you live, whether it's in Manila or in the outskirts, in the provinces, which I'm sure it's a lot cheaper. Second, it depends on your lifestyle. Are you a big spender? Do you like gambling? Do you drink a lot? Do you smoke a lot? All those things are issues that you have to contend with. But nevertheless, you need to have a benchmark. Before deciding on this, I created my own budget, and I was pretty sure I'm going to land in the $1,000 to $2,000 neighborhood per month. And that is maintaining our current lifestyle. Not trying to be too cheap and not to do anything so we don't spend the money. So that's what we did. I said, you know, let's not try to cut corners. Let's do it the way we want to do it. Okay? And this is the result. First of all, my wife did not do a lot of cooking because we do not have a complete kitchen. We don't have the tools, and we were buying as we were going out. We were buying and accumulating them, but she did not have all the tools to do the cooking. So we did a lot of dining out. We probably had, out of 35 days, maybe between 2 to 4 sort of high-end dinner or lunch. Other than that, we usually go out and eat in the usual place Filipinos eat. Okay, we didn't look for any high-end stuff. We just live the normal way. Sometimes, in fact, me in particular, I like turo-turo. Okay, I enjoy that more than this high-end formal dining and things like that. The only problem is my wife is so highly sensitive to MSG or magic sarap, so we have to inquire what they put in their food before we plunge into it. So it took us a while to identify a few restaurants that we can afford to do, to eat. Okay, so here's the rundown of expenses that we incurred. For dining, we spent $472. Okay, and that includes maybe 2 to 4 high-end. This is not too bad considering there's 2 of us and there's 2 to 3 times a day that we eat. The breakfast, usually we don't eat out, we just eat inside, and that we also buy at the grocery, bring it in, and then we prepare breakfast, light breakfast. And then for lunch and dinner, usually we go out, and sometimes if we have to come back home, we buy a takeout food for dinner. And that whole thing costs $472. For 2 of us, that's not bad. In the US, we spend a lot more. So groceries and household expenses. Sometimes, as I mentioned, we will buy and then take it back and then eat it at the condo at night. That falls in the groceries, and we did a lot of fruit shopping because this is the season for lanzones, and my wife loves lanzones. So we're buying a lot of lanzones. What else did we buy? Some grapes. No big deal because that's common here in the United States. A lot more. I can't remember what it is. But household expenses is included. This is $650. Groceries and household, as I mentioned, we don't have too many tools in the kitchen, so my wife had to buy a lot of things that we will need in the future. For transportation, Grab and taxi, we spent $280, and this does not include what we paid somebody to take us to Tagaytay. That is excluded. Okay, that's a separate trip. This is just the day in, day out, minimum two times a day, going and coming back. Grab and or taxi. We spent $280 on that. And this is one of the reasons I'm thinking, gee, how much am I going to spend if we buy a car? When you buy a car, in addition to the huge money you have to put out to buy the car, you need to have, you spend money for gas, for insurance, for the repairs, for parking, and by the way, Grab and taxi, you have a driver. So if you want it to be comparable, you have to get your own driver. And is that going to be $280 a month? I don't know. But there is a drawback to not having your own car. For example, I think I mentioned in my previous video, we got stuck 2 times, one at the Mega Mall and one at the Shangri-La Mall, where there was no cab and no taxi, and we were waiting there for more than 1 hour. And I said, this is the drawback of not having a car. With a car, you're free to go here and there. Obviously, there is an advantage, but you have to look at the cost consideration also. For telephone, we spent $90. And by the way, that includes, this is about $40, $30 or $40. This is the Pocket Wi-Fi by Globe. And we bought this so that we do not have to put data on each of our cell phones. With this, we just carry this with us, and we can use the internet, both my wife and I, and then when we get to the condo, we can also use the laptop. In fact, the reason this is high, $90, is this is $40, so in effect it's about $50 for the data usage and telephone. And that data usage is a little bit high because I had to do a couple of uploading on YouTube, and that eats a lot. It takes almost overnight to upload on YouTube. Now this will be maybe not a lot cheaper, but much better quality anyway when we have our own landline, and much quicker speed and unlimited internet access. We spent $95 on condo dues and common area utilities. Now, this is something you have to pay regardless, whether I'm here in the US or in the Philippines occupying the condo. I pay for this. That's $95 a month, condo fee and common area utilities. Now, one of the things that, and I also paid $80 in home repair. For example, I can't remember the rest, but for example, the LED light, ceiling light at our bedroom was blown off. So I had to replace that, and I think that alone cost about $30 or so. Okay, and then I had to buy a hose so that I can clean the sliding doors on the 2 balconies that we have, something like that. Now, here's the thing: electric bill and water utility is something that was really concerning to me, because I'm hearing a lot of people say, oh gee, it's expensive here. And I did check the internet, and the rate is almost like twice that of the United States. But then I figured, well, in the US, I'm paying for electric to heat my house. Well, I don't need to heat the house or the condo in the Philippines. Also, we have like a 2,800 square feet living space here in the US, whereas at the condo we only have about 700 square feet. So I said that's going to be a lot smaller. So it's twice the rate that you pay in the Philippines, but then it's significantly less in terms of heating space and no heat required, cooling space I should say, and no heat required in the Philippines. So I said, I don't know what it is. It's going to be a surprise. Well, I was pleasantly surprised. The bill is for $50. And that includes running the air conditioner in the living room, which is a split air conditioner. When I bought the condo, the way I designed it is I want each room to have their own window unit, the 3 bedrooms. And then I want the living room, the kitchen, and the hallway to to have the oversized. I intentionally made it oversized because I'm hoping that with that unit I could cool the entire condominium unit. Well, the way it worked out is it's always on, the one in the living room, with the exception of few cases and also few nights or morning because it was a little cool, so I turned it off. But what we usually do is turn it on, running all day, and then when it's too warm, let's say in one or two bedrooms, I turn the bedroom units on just to cool them down, and then after 1 hour I shut it off, and then I let the main unit handle the rest of the condo. That's how I designed it. And also it's what do they call that, inverter technologies, which is supposed to save you some money. So I said, well, I don't really know how this is going to come out. Well, it came out to $50, which is not bad. So in the high season, for example, during the warm season, it may be, well, assume it's twice, okay? Assume it's going to be $100. I am paying $300 to $400 a month here. Now, I'm not saying this is cheap, especially for Filipinos. I'm pretty sure this is expensive. But relative to what I'm paying, it is cheap, okay? And considering that the rate is double in the Philippines, this is not bad at all. So I'm very pleased about that. Also, water. Well, oh, by the way, on the electric, remember there's a refrigerator, there's a coffee maker, there's, well, we didn't use the range much because she did not cook. There's the vacuum cleaner that we use maybe twice a day because it's so dusty in the Philippines. Water bill is another thing that worries me because of everything I'm hearing, that water is so expensive in the Philippines. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's only $10, okay? And that includes, as I mentioned earlier, I bought a hose, cleaning the two balconies, rinsing the glass, and cleaning that whole thing up because it was not occupied for several months. And my wife also had to wash the clothes every single day, so that eats a lot of water. So $10 is pretty reasonable to me. And then I have $75 of other things. By the way, did I mention on groceries and household expense? That includes $100 of meds that I bought for my wife because we found a good buy, cheap. So I bought 3 months supply of that. I think it's called Simbacort. So altogether, it cost me $1,800. Now, is that low or high? Well, when I prepared my budget, I assumed I will spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, maybe $1,500. Okay, and this is a little bit on the high side, $1,008. And I think this will get trimmed down when we stay and settle down in the Philippines. So I think my estimate is correct. Now, is this high? Yes, because it is Manila. So if you want something cheaper, look at the provinces. But keep in mind, when you go to the province, you may not have a good medical services that you may require. You may not require it, you may not need it, but as we age, that to me is very important. Now, when I settle down in the Philippines, I will continue to look at this, and I will also look at the provinces. Obviously, when I'm there only for a few weeks, I do not have the time to research each and every location to see what kind of medical services they have available. But once we settle down there, I will look at Pampanga, I will look at Bulacan, Laguna, who else? Somebody else recommended another location. I'll be looking at them and doing my own research at my convenience. And if we make a decision, there should be no problem selling the condo and moving or relocating, or maybe I can just rent the condo out and buy another unit, maybe even a smaller unit, a single home maybe. We don't know, but I'm still convinced that the condominium is the way to go for me because I will be going back and forth to the US. At least that is my lifestyle. And that's what we plan to do. When we're in the Philippines, I do plan to travel the island. So I think condominium makes more sense based on the activity I'm going to have. So there goes. This is the realistic view of the expenses, very accurately, not estimated, very accurately tracked. And I'm glad to share this with you so you are not blindsided when you go there thinking, for $500, $1,000, I can go ahead and do it. By the way, these expenses do not include, well, it includes condominium, but the only thing it does not include is the car expense, because I don't have a car, and also the real estate tax, which is not high. I only paid $220 for the whole year. Okay, $220. So how much is that? $20 a month. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoy this video and you get something from it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment me. And thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I will really appreciate that. Have a nice day.